So that's what I meant when I wanted to be 100% all in on my kid. No distraction, no anything, no man, nothing. Like 100% Sarah and the boys, me and my boys forever. And like I said, that could change, but right now I am so happy in my choices. And I know a lot of you connected with me when I said that I'm just not dating. And I'm so happy that I decided to move on with that aspect of my life.
Liar!
Gentlemen across the world, give me the SIP rep, and welcome back to another episode in which we will discuss single mothers. So let's get started with this one right here. Let's not delay it anymore, and let's see what she has to say.
So I'm a single mom of 2, and a few weeks back I shared about why I stopped dating. And so many people connected with that video. I made a part 1 and a part 2. So I want to go into part 3 about also like how I got to that decision and a little bit more detail about one of the reasons why I said in part 1. I got to this decision because I just am so tired of dating and just like finding men that seem great and they obviously put their best foot forward as they always do, as we always do as humans. And I'm just so tired of like putting myself through that. And my kids don't meet every guy I dated, obviously. But even the disappointment that I would feel, like that affects how I show up for my kids. So a lot of people were like, well, don't introduce them. Like, don't introduce every man to your kids, obviously. But even if you saw somebody for a couple months and they disappointed you or whatever, like you show up differently for the people in your life when you're heartbroken. And I just don't want that to be me anymore. Like you could try and pretend and you could really try and just push that past that, but kids feel energy. I'm 100% believer in that. And so when you're heartbroken or when you're disappointed or when you thought somebody was something that they just weren't, especially in dating, you get these blinders and it just hurts even more. And you cannot show up for the people in your life, especially your children, if you're operating from a place of hurt, even if it's outside of them. So yeah, my kids didn't meet guys I dated, obviously, but I showed up different when I was broken or hurting or disappointed in some way. So that's what I meant when I wanted to be 100% all in on my kid. No distraction, no anything, no man, nothing. Like 100% Sarah and the boys, me and my boys forever. And like I said, that could change, but right.
So we go from me and my boys forever to 1 second later. Well, but that could change. What? You literally went from forever to, well, that may change. But then it's not forever. Like, guys, these women are out here. I've seen so many women saying, no, now I'm done with dating. Now it's over. And then you check their TikTok account 1 week later, and they have already 2 stories of 2 dates that went bad. You know what I mean? Like, these women, they are so hooked to the attention. They are so addicted. They cannot stop. It's like a gambling addiction. And then again, she mentioned about her children not feeling the energy, the vibe. I wouldn't call it energy. It's just kids tend to mirror the way of being of their father, of their parents, excuse me. So if the parents are not happy, usually the kid will not be happy as well. And if a kid is with a single mother, he doesn't have the father figure there to lead by example, to show him, you know, other things that women by nature cannot show and teach children. So we have all these problems, right? And it just makes me think, a century back, women didn't have time to be in their cars making part 56 of why I'm a single mother. You know, just women in the past, they were busy, you know, being the home builders, you know, just teaching kids stuff and cooking things and helping the family structure and all that things. They didn't have time to be in a car with a Starbucks just making tons of TikToks. The situation has really changed, not for good, honestly. And the first people that are impacted by this are not even men, it's children, right? Like men, at least, even though men suffer a lot because of the dating situation and the court situation, etc., it's kids who receive the first punch, right? But let's keep watching, gentlemen. Leave me your comments down below.
Right now, I am so happy in my choices. And I know a lot of you connected with me when I said that I'm just not dating. And I'm so happy that I decided to move on with that aspect of my life. I also want to focus a lot of my time on going back to school and bettering myself career-wise and money-wise. So that's another video when I could go into more depth if you guys are interested about what I'm doing to build a financial future for my kids.
You'd build a financial future. Guys, now someone may say, oh, that's beautiful, she got plans, but I don't know, man, like, she's 30 already, and you're going to start going to school now and building a future. What future, man? You're in your 30s. When are you going to finish university or whatever you're going to then find a job, to then, you know, like, these women, guys, they put the cart in front of the horse, you know, they put the cart before the horse. It's not the way you do it. Like, someone may say, oh, she has it all figured out, you know, but not really. I mean, she's already made the poor choices. Like, she's already divorced. She's already picked a person who's not suitable. She already, you know, deprived her children of a father figure. And now she's out here dating, and she's not leading by example. She can't keep a man, apparently. Some people feel pity for these women, and they hear them and they say, oh, yeah, you know, dating as a woman so hard. Guys, there is no such thing as tired of dating in regards to women. Women should not feel tired of dating. If they say they are tired of dating, it just means they pick the bad person over and over and over again. Right? It's so easy for women, and I don't say this to play victim. I don't say this to throw a pity party for men. It's just the nature of it. It's just that we don't feel no sympathy for women who are alone, because it's a decision made over and over again to pick the bad boys. It's really how it is. But let's continue.
But for now, I really love connecting with you guys on this topic. It's such a big topic, and I feel like nobody really talks about it in terms of completely stop dating, not interested, not wanting to date. And I love all of your comments. I love connecting with you guys on here. So keep commenting, keep sharing your stories. I really love it. And to all you other single mamas out there, I get it. I'm here for you. I'm with you. We can totally do this. I love this like cute little...
Yeah, I'm sure all the comments are basically worshipping you for being a strong single mother. Personally, for me, I don't quite encourage that. Now, there are different cases, of course, but the reality is most single mothers nowadays, it's just the result of bad choices. It's not like these women right here, you know, their partner passed away or something bad happened. Yes, there are some cases where the guy just turns to be an a-hole, but in general, we have so many single mothers in society, and it's not true that men have this habit of just leaving homes, you know. We don't have this habit. It's not our hobby to do that. The truth is, most men want to build families and want to be stable and want to be there. Usually when men leave, it's not because they actually leave, but because they are just put out of the family unit. So yeah, these women, gentlemen, they're not the Virgin Mary. No, they just made the bad choices, and they ended being a single mother by choice.
Okay, so absolutely nobody asked for this, but I'm going to talk about it for research purposes. I dated an Asian man before. He was Chinese. Well, half his family is from China, the other half is from Taiwan. Every week we had a date, like clockwork. Every Friday, you know, we would go to the movies, and he would always, you know, choose a couple of movies and say, which one of these 2 or 3 would you like to watch? Sometimes if I was indecisive, he would say, you know, let's just watch both movies. Which one do you want to watch first? And then we'd decide. And then there was always a dinner, whether it would be sushi or Maggiano's, or it was always some restaurant. Every blue moon, if we were running late for like a movie or whatever, we would just go to the food court, and he'd be like, oh, like, let's just grab, you know, whatever, some Mediterranean food, some Chinese food, whatever that we could take into the theater with us. And then after our movie and after our dinner, then we would go shopping. So whatever store I wanted to go to, whether it was like H&M, Forever 21, whatever, we would go, and he would sit down, and he wouldn't complain, and not a lick, and I'd go and I'd shop and try on all my little stuff and come out, do you like this? Do you like this? And he'd be like, okay, yeah, let's get all of it. And he would just pay for it. I never paid for anything. He would always plan the date, and then within the date that he would plan, he would have options for me to choose from. And this was literally every week like clockwork. I would say for every date, it was probably at least $100 every single week. Now, keep in mind, the most important part of this is we were in junior high. This was when we were 13 years old. These were the dates that I was getting, and he was doing this every single week. He had some sort of inheritance or whatever that would pay him a certain allowance or whatever every week of like his family's money or whatever. But it was literally a no-brainer for him. It was like, why would you pay? Why would you touch, open doors, anything? He just took care of it. Now, there was a lot of issues that we had to deal with as far as like the family. There were some family members that were like, oh my gosh, she's black. Why would you bring her here? We had to deal with a lot. That relationship obviously ended up ending. It was junior high. But yeah, that was my experience for research purposes.
All right, so we got this scenario right here now. I don't believe this to be true, honestly. But again, I wouldn't be surprised because of how much simpery is going on in today's society. But let's take it for what it is. Women want to be treated like this. You know, they want to be taken to the cinemas. Yes, honey, you choose what we watch. And then, you know, they want to be taken out to wine and dine. They want to go to the different shops, buy everything they want, and the guy pays for it, of course. You know, the women nowadays want to be treated like in the movie Pretty Woman, right? They want that millionaire guy who is attractive and tall, and he just pays for everything. He just has money, you know, to pay all the bills, etc. So they want the traditional man. But, you know, a question that any reasonable man would ask is, what do you bring to the table? You know, the question that so often is answered by the words, I am the table. No, but the truth is, these women don't bring anything. These women, guys, they think they are honey, right? And that they will attract the bees. But they are something else that I won't mention, and they attract the flies, right? They don't deserve, they don't have in themselves what it takes to attract that sort of man that they like. Because they want the traditional men, but they're not traditional themselves. They are modern and empowered, and as this woman said, that relationship ended, and now she will expect the same behavior out of her next man. But she herself is not traditional. She won't cook, she won't be pleasant to be around, she won't be humble, she won't support you. Most of these women, have you noticed, guys, most of these women who were so proud of the boys that paid for them, they always tell stories of previous relationships and ex-boyfriends. I had this one ex-boyfriend that paid for me. I had this one ex-boyfriend that bought me this or whatever. They never stick to those relationships. They just use them for their money, and eventually the relationship breaks off. Like maybe the dude didn't have enough money or went through a depression or some hard times. You will see whenever something hard happens, these women are the first to open the door and leave. You know, when the money ends, the first thing that goes out the window is the love and commitment and everything that these women say they bring, right? They always say, oh, I bring, you know, stability to the relationship. I bring positive vibes and all these made up words. You know, I carry the mental labor and all that stuff they talk about. Notice how it always leaves when the money runs out.
Hey guys, so I'm back with another video. This time we're going to talk about just dating as a single mother, what the challenges, you know, were for me. So when I was ready to start dating again, I started using like dating apps and stuff. And what I did find funny was that some of the Christian apps weren't as genuine as I thought it would have been, which is quite weird because you would think, if you're looking for like a God-fearing somebody, they would be on that platform, but I didn't really get that vibe. I didn't get that vibe at all. Yeah, so for me, the world's changing. I know a lot of people are very skeptical about using like online dating apps and stuff, which I do get because there are a lot of cycles out there, like a lot. But for me, I don't know, it was convenient for me. I'm not going to be available all the time to go out constantly, and it's not guaranteed that if you go out constantly you're going to meet the right one. So for me it was the online dating scene for me. I met my spouse on Bumble.
Guys, before she continues, she just mentioned it's about meeting the right one. And this is something quite important because even as a single mother, these women could totally secure a man Yes, he may be a simp, but still, she could secure a man, you know? But that's the thing with single mothers, gentlemen, and that's the reason why the first woman, quote unquote, will leave dating. Because it just doesn't work for single mothers, because they still have the high standards. This is something inherent to today's modern woman. They may be a single mother, divorced 5 times, you know, has been riding the carousel 20 years, but they still have the standards, you know, to expect to be treated like a pretty woman. That's it. I mean, it boils down to that. They can be a single mother, they can be the worst of the worst, they can bring absolutely nothing to the table, but they will expect that Prince Charming. They will expect that 6 feet man with 6-digit salary, you know, as the woman in the previous clip who said, well, I used to have this ex-boyfriend 15 years back that paid $100 every time we went out. And they expect that. So, you know, what's left for men? What's in it for men? What do men have to do in order to get a woman who is humble, you know, good looking, healthy, who is friendly, and not just a gold digger? If the single mothers who have been divorced 2 times and are 40 years old, if they expect a 6 feet man with a 6-digit salary, you know, what type of man do you have to be to secure a woman who is actually not a single mother and not 40 years old and who hasn't been riding the carousel? Riddle me that, modern woman.
I met him towards the end of 2020, and even at that point, I was like, you know what, I'm so done. Sorry, my chair keeps on squeaking. Even at that point, I was like, I'm so done with this online whatever. I'm, you know, because there's so many people wasting your time. It is the ghetto out there, the ghetto, and let me tell you. So even when I met him, I was just like, probably not gonna get far. You know, let me just talk and see where this actually takes us. But I didn't put much energy into it. My energy was more on my business, building a relationship with God, focusing on my kids, and just obviously, like, you know, building a friendship with my spouse to be. So I always tell people, and I used to hate when this used to happen to me. Now I get it. You will meet the right one when you least expect it, when you least expect it, when your energy is not there like that. You will meet that person, trust me.
Alright, gentlemen, so we'll end there on the cope, on the big cope. Yeah, you will get the man that you want and that you deserve when you least expect it. You know, I've heard many phrases like that. Don't you think about it, the universe has something prepared for you, or God's plan for me, you know, will eventually come to reality. Or today's cope is, well, when you least expect it, that man is going to pop. You know, everything but I have to work, you know, everything but I have to do something in order to get a man. Everything else but me having to do something, like, for example, being a good partner. But gentlemen, leave me your thoughts down in the comments, and I'll be happy to see you next time. Have a good one.